everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Jo here. I hope you're all well and having a wonderful day. If you're new here, I'm Jo. I do craft videos. I do 3 a week, Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment, I will reply. And if you're not subscribed and you want to see more from me, then it'd be wonderful if you joined our family and friends. If you're returning, as always, my friends, welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. I just don't have words to describe how thankful and grateful I am to everybody that takes the time to watch my videos. It really means the world to me. And yeah, for today's video I made these little birds. Now for Wednesday's videos going forward, I'm going to do quicker projects, ones that only take an afternoon to do, unlike my larger projects that I'll be doing on Mondays and Fridays. So yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to use is a old cardboard box, and I have this bird that I got from a charity shop quite a while ago, and this is what I'm going to use as a stencil. And I'm just going to trace around this on the card. I'm going to have to move it to the edge of the table so that I can lie it flat, because obviously the base of it is making it stick up. So I'm going to do that. But obviously there are loads of different bird templates that you can find online that you can print out if you haven't got anything to draw around, or you could even use a colouring book if there's a colouring book that you've got that you could cut out a bird or an animal of your choice, and you could use that as a stencil as well. So I'm just going to do 3 of these, cut them out, and then we can get on with making the rest of it. So I'm using some of the wooden skewers. These ones that I'm using are from Poundland, and you can also get them in most supermarkets. And now I'm going to create 2 stalks for the birds. The third bird is going to be sat on the ground and the other 2 will be on the skewers. So I'm just going to hold them at different lengths. So I want one that's a medium length. I'm just making it with a pen, and then I'm going to cut with some wire cutters, and then I'm going to do one a little bit longer as well, so that I've got them at 3 different lengths when they're sat next to each other. So I'm making sure that the straight edge is at the bottom, and this is just to make it a little bit easier to glue to the wooden plaques that I'm going to use for the base of the birds. But once I've cut my 2 pieces of skewer to size, I'm now going to paint these in an acrylic paint, doing them in a dark brown, and the paint that I'm using is from a set that I picked up in Poundland. I'm just going to do 1 coat and then let them dry. So now I'm going to decorate the birds. I'm using some fabric that I picked up from my local market a couple of months ago, and this was £1 for this piece. I'm going to iron the fabric to make sure it's as flat as possible, and then I'm going to glue the birds to the fabric. You don't have to use fabric. You could use craft paper or scrapbook paper or gift wrap. You could use anything that you want, but all I'm going to do now is glue the bird to the fabric. I'm just going to put the glue around the edges of the bird, not in the center. And then I'm going to place it down on the fabric and then cut around with a pair of scissors, and I'm going to do the same to the front and back of each of the 3 birds. So the birds are now covered on the front and back, and I'm going to add the wooden skewers in now, and I'm going to make sure that I push the skewers in between the cardboard in the center of the bird, and I'm just going to secure them with a bit of hot glue as well. And now I'm going to work on the outside of the birds. So I'm going to use some of this rope that I've got. I picked this up for £1.99 in a DIY store in my little village, and I'm going to measure around the outside of the bird with the rope and then cut it to size. And I'm going to do exactly the same for all 3. And then once I've got my rope that I'm using, I'm going to use some embroidery floss to cover the rope. You could use wool if you want, and I'm only doing this because I don't have anything to go around the cardboard, but obviously you could use whatever you wanted, ribbon or beads or a pearl garland, but I'm going to do this. So I'm just going to glue the ends of the embroidery floss to the end of the rope. And then all I'm going to do is wrap the thread around the rope until I've completely covered the length. I'm going to do this with all three, and then I'm going to glue this around the outside of each of the birds. So now I've gone around the birds with the rope that's covered in the thread. I'm now going to use another green which matches the fabric, and I'm just going to glue over the edges of the bird and the rope that we've just glued in place just to hide the edges. I'm going to do that with all three, and I will be back. So I've gone around the edges now with the thread, and I'm going to glue the birds to the bases. So I'm going to glue the stalks to the wooden plaques. These ones are from the Works. I think you get 6 in a pack for £1. And then I'm going to stick the other bird flat on the larger one. And now I'm going to do the eyes. So I've not got any beads or anything small enough to use for the eyes. So I've got some googly eyes from Poundland. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them open using a craft knife and take out the little black sequin that's in the center and use these for the eyes of the birds. Like so. And then these feathers, I got a pack of 20 from Wish. I think I paid £2 including post and packaging for these ones. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the ends off, and then I'm going to use these for the wings. I'm going to do one on each of the birds and just glue them in place like so. So the wings are now in place, and to finish off where we've joined everything together with the wooden skewer and the bird, I'm just going to add one of these little green ribbons or bows on each one. And then round the bottom, I'm going to add some small green leaves, and I'm going to use some of this green moss that I got from Wish. Again, I paid £2 for it, including postage, and that's just to hide the glue where we've glued the skewer to the wooden plaque. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little white flower to each one. And these were a pack of 50 from Wish. Again, I think I paid £2 including postage. And I'm just going to put one to finish it off. And here they are. So I hope you like them. And yeah, I'm really happy with them. They're not going to stay here. They're going to go in the kitchen eventually when I get round to actually doing something to the kitchen. I haven't touched the kitchen since I've moved in. Every room is a work in progress. The closest room to being finished is my bathroom, and I'm hoping it's going to be finished this year. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. You don't have to use them like this. You could use them in flower arrangements. You could use them on wreaths. You could do anything that you want with them. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. I will see you on Friday for my next video. So take care for now, guys. See you soon. Bye.